Being a dentist is not easy. I should know I am one of them. And on Talking Nachos, we are dedicated to helping you do three things: increase success, decrease stress, and most of all, reduce the number of times you feel like crying inside a day. I have a special guest on with me today, one of our awesome sponsors and fellow dentists. Would you introduce yourself to our audience and share who you are?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Paul. So my name is Rika Markel, and I started in dentistry as a dental spouse, which is usually what people, or definitely a team, doesn't look forward to. And luckily, I think that because I had a lot of experience in management, and I could see through all the the crap that was going on. And
Yeah.
I luckily worked with beautiful teams, with wonderful people. And so now I am retiring from the daily grind and I'm not going into the office anymore. But I really would love to stay in dentistry and come with my project Mindful Dentistry, what I did in my own practices, and to help dentists, like you say, cry a little bit less inside.
I love that. I have a good slogan for you. Say, I've retired from the tooth grind, pun intended, grinding teeth, and I'm here to
Well,
help you with your mind.
exactly, but I was not really, I did everything except the grinding teeth.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so I was
No, but
never
you're
this
part of
that,
it. If
no.
you're in the office when the teeth are getting grinded, I don't think that's right grammar. If you're in the office, you are part of the experience. Now, I know what mindful eating is supposed to be. I'm not supposed to sit down and have 100 M&Ms in one sitting, right? I'm supposed to be mindful of how many M&Ms I'm having. I really do love M&Ms. So tell us, you have this concept, mindful dentistry, helping patients say yes. People can text mindful to 215-543-6454 to get a free PDF from you and free discovery call on how to get more patients to say yes. But tell us what mindful dentistry means to you and what are you teaching the dental community?
So my whole life, I was also a mindset coach, and I have my certifications as a mindset coach, and I just integrated it into the dental field because I truly believe that your thoughts create your reality. And that's where the mindfulness comes from. Like your mind has way more to do with your results than what people know. And so what I understood very early when I came, like I came to the United States 15 years ago, and I had no idea that I was going to end up in dentistry, but I married a dentist, so here we are. And very fast I saw that patients always said yes to me. And doctors were looking at me like, how does she do that? And I didn't even realize that that was so special.
Yeah.
And so I've backtracked and I'm like, what am I doing that for me it was so normal? If a dentist is going to say this is what you need, for me it was normal that a patient would say yes. Like I come from Belgium and we have socialized dentistry. So if you have something to do, patients say yes.
Yeah.
And I realized that it had to do with the idea that when people are in a state of fear, that they never can say yes. So what I did
Yeah.
different was I just made them comfortable. I was empathizing with them. I had a lot of empathy. I could understand that it was very scary. I'm scared of the dentist. So I knew how painful that is. And that was what made the yes so easy. And then, of course, I studied a little bit more about neuroscience. And then it was very obvious that there is absolutely no reason why patients shouldn't say 100 times, 100% yes.
Yeah, I love what you're talking about because in dental school, they don't talk about this enough. And when they ask me what's more important, communication or clinical skills, it's an easy answer. Communication, because without communication, you don't get to practice any of your clinical dentistry. So while they're both very, very important, dentists will spend hours and money and time getting better at crown preps and implants, and then not enough time working on these skills that get them to do the thing they love. So tell us a little about you train offices. If somebody was listening saying, I need this help, I want to talk to Rika, tell us a little bit about that start. You do a discovery call, and then what's the training like?
Well, I have two kind of training. a very short training where, like a 6 weeks program, where I teach you, your team, whoever you want me to teach, how you can have patients to say yes. Like, what is the dynamic? We go in stages, and I explain the power of the mind, like the rules of the mind. When are patients saying yes? When are they saying no? And why? And then I also have a 6 months program where I go a little bit deeper in everything. It's not only about patients saying yes, it's how do you set up your practice for success, but also for peace of mind,
Yeah.
knowing that whatever you have in between your ears. I was working for a dentist, and he said, because we had multiple practices and a lot of associates. And so there was one dentist that said, oh, this patient is never going to say yes. Well, if that's your attitude, if you
Right.
know that this is, then patients, they feel your words way more than they hear them. So when
100%.
you have the attitude like, oh, they're never going to say yes, I promise you that patient will never say yes. So we go deeper in that, and we put the whole team in the same thought process. So the program is called Thinking into Results. It's like a program that is used in many professions, and I just adapted it for dentistry.
I love that. One thing I'll add is I've had amazing coaches through my life, and the one responsible for Dental Nachos helped me in 2018. And she said, all leadership is about managing energy. And it's true. Managing it in your operatory, managing it with your dental assistants, managing at the front desk, and to show dentist grace, no one teaches us this. And it's the name of the game for success. So I'm thrilled that you are teaching our community this. I'm thrilled that you're a sponsor. People can text Mindful to 215-543-645 to connect with you. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience about your program, about how you can you help me eat less M&Ms? I don't know if you can, but maybe I'll work on that next
I
time.
be honest with you, I have a 6 weeks also, because in I'm a dietitian.
Oh,
That's
awesome.
my profession. So I help people lose weight. Now that you bring it up, and with the same ideas, like you first have to really own the fact you cannot outperform the vision that you have of
Yeah.
yourself. If you think of yourself as being somebody who eats M&Ms and who eats cake, and who, if that's your idea, then it's going to be very hard for you to not do that.
I just want to envision myself as someone who eats a reasonable amount of
Yes,
M&Ms,
yes,
not 100,
yeah,
20. And
and,
to be
and
honest, I'm the person, if I'm being sharing, I either want to have zero M&Ms or 100 M&Ms, which is not a healthy way. And I think dentists sometimes they either want to do so much work on this thing or no work. And I like that you have created a way for them to make it practical, 6-week course, short course. So I love that. Well, I'm going to stay tuned for all of your teaching. People wanted to reach out to you. They can reach to you through us by texting Mindful to 215-543-6454 or visiting dentalnachos.com. Thanks so much for sharing with us today.
thank you for having me.